Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Sullivan, Barrera, and SEANIE MonaGhan Media Conference Call. Your host for today, Gail Falkenthal, will begin.
Thank you very much, Katina. Welcome to the Barrera versus Monahan International Media Conference Call. At this time, participants are in a listen-only mode. After our opening remarks, each team will conduct question and answers. During the question and answer session, if you have a question, you know the drill. Press star, then 1 on your phone. You can start doing so now. Please note this conference is being recorded, and we will have a transcript for you later. So thank you again for joining us on the call to discuss this sensational championship fight in the light heavyweight division, a very hot division. And at this time, I'll hand the call over to Kathy Duva, fight promoter and CEO of Main Event.
Thank you, Gail. Good morning and good afternoon to everyone on the line. Better late than never, right? We've had a long road making this fight happen, going all the way back to this summer when it was first scheduled and unfortunately had to be postponed, but I'm confident it will be worth the wait. And as our fight poster says, this bout is high stakes for both Sullivan and for SEANIE. It is for both of them a career make or break. The winner will be right back in the mix for a world championship in the competitive light heavyweight division. The loser will have a hard road ahead, and with high stakes for the fighters comes high excitement for boxing's fans. So again, we the fans are always the winners. Tickets are on sale and priced so local fans can attend to see many regional New York-based fighters along with Sullivan and SEANIE, including LaShawn Rodriguez and Ismael Villarreal. We also have hard-hitting middleweight Dennis Douglin and even harder-hitting heavyweight Cassius Chaney on the card. Ticket prices start at just $50, and they're available through Eventbrite or by calling Main Events at 973-200-7050 or emailing boxing@mainevents.com. In addition to our fighters today, you will also hear from P.J. Kavanaugh, manager of SEANIE Monaghan, his trainer, Joe Higgins, Derek Santos, trainer of Sullivan Barrera, in addition to the SEANIE and Sullivan, who are also with us right now. So let's start with Sullivan and Derek. We want you to tell us what this means to your career. Why don't you start, Derek, and then you can introduce Sullivan.
Hi, how you doing, everybody? Well, you know, as we all know, we've been to that top of the ladder, and we had a misstep, but I still consider Sullivan really the guy right under the champions. And, you know, you just get back on your horse, you do your training, and we're back right at it. Thanks to our promoters. Sullivan, he can say what he wants now. Sullivan, te están preguntando qué quiere decir esta pelea.
Esta pelea significa mucho, tú sabes, una pelea importante, porque de salir airoso podríamos pelear por un título para el 2019.
Okay. He said, of course, this fight is very significant in his career. You know, because he had a misstep and he, you know, wants to get right back in the mix for the title hunt.
Thank you, Sullivan, and also I want to give a shout out to his manager, Louis Molina, who prefers to stay silent, but we know you're there in the background. And you know, Sullivan has had a terrific career and is continuing to be a force in the division. And I think that speaks a lot toward his work ethic and just the electricity that we get every time he gets in the ring. So we're looking forward to this one. And now let's hear from Irish SEANIE Monahan, along with his manager, P.J. Kavanaugh, and also trainer Joe Higgins. P.J., why don't you start and introduce your team?
Hi, P.J. Kavanaugh here. I want to thank Kathy and Main Events for finally putting this together. We've been looking forward to this for quite some time now, and you know, we understand it's a big fight, and as everybody knows, the winner will have, you know, will be right back in a world championship opportunity. And as Kathy said before, the loser will be a tough road. So it's high stakes. Everything is riding on this, and we understand that Sullivan wants to get back on that horse, and it's going to be up to SEANIE to make sure he doesn't. So, you know, come November 3rd, I think It's going to make for a great fight. I think the styles make for a great, exciting fight. Both guys come to fight, and both very tough competitors. Sean has been training hard, not underestimating anything with Sullivan. You know, we know his record speaks for itself. And, you know, as I say, we're confident. Sean is confident. And working hard, and hard work pays off. So with that said, really looking forward to November 3rd, and Shawnee's ready to do battle, and it's all on the line. So I want to thank again everybody, and I'll hand you over to either Shawnee or Joe Higgins.
All right, I guess I'll talk. We'll let Shawnee finish up. You know, we, of course, are very grateful to Main Events in the Sullivan camp. Shawnee and Sullivan seemed to have a little Twitter talk back and forth back in the day, and it seemed to work out that it was only right that these two guys go at it. I think the bout is very evenly matched. For those that don't know Sean, because, you know, he might not be the most popular athlete, he's been in the top 10 for a few years now, and I can assure you that has not been by mistake. We were ready for August 18th. We know things happen in boxing, and we're glad that Sullivan is okay, and we've continued to have the opportunity to fight him. We do think it's going to be a fan-friendly fight, and there's going to be no standing room in that arena. All I can tell you as the trainer is Shawnee's been with me for 17 years, and he's always done the work. He's always lived an itinerary life. He sleeps. He eats right. He does everything correctly. He's never been a problem for a promotion, and we're not going to be one this time. And I can just assure you that he's going to be ready. This is really like 2 training camps we did back-to-back for Sullivan. So we did take a slight rest because it's only right, because there's a lot of work being done. And we think the batteries are charged. We're ready to go. We're finishing up strong. We expect a really tough fight from this guy. You know, I'm not going to say we didn't study him, but the fact of the matter is that we're ready for whatever happens that night, whether it's a brawl, whether we're going to box, whatever you want. You know what I mean? We think that this fight can be I don't want to bite my tongue on this one, but we think it can be a Toro Gotti, Mickey Ward type fight, believe it or not. And, you know, that's not, in my eyes, that could be like a blasphemy, because I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in boxing. But let's not be surprised if these guys fight 2 or 3 times and they fight each other for the title later on. So this is where we're going. We've been at it all this time, and this is what was the game plan from day one with Sean and I. And, you know, with the amount of work that we've done over these years, we're really not surprised to be here. So we're just grateful. We're truly grateful to Main Events and the Barrera camp, and I'm really glad that this worked out, because this is the kind of fight that should happen for the fans. And with that, I'll let Shawnee talk, because Shawnee's really the guy that's doing all the work, and I'm doing a lot of observing.
All right, here I am. First, I want to thank Kathy and Main Events for giving me the opportunity. I'd like to thank Sullivan Barrera and his team for taking the challenge. I've got a lot of respect for him and his team. If you look at his resume, it speaks for itself. And he's one of the most dangerous guys in the world. There's undefeated guys with better-looking records than him that would be much easier fights than he is. You know, he's the kind of guy, he takes everybody to deep water. He'll get dropped and get up and fight even harder. So that's been on my mind this entire training camp. And I know that I'm going to have to push myself way, way harder than I ever have before to get past this guy. And the poster has it right. This is high stakes for both of us. And may the best man win. That's all I got to say.
I don't think anybody could have said it better. Thank you so much, Sean. And Joe, from your mouth to God's ear, you know, when Gaddy Ward was made, nobody expected Gaddy Ward. So these are the kinds of fights where that happens, where you have 2 fighters who have everything on the line and have styles that are complementary, and I think that's what we have here. So everybody's going to, everyone who watches this is going to benefit, and of course it's going to be on Facebook Watch, where everybody can see it. They don't have to buy a subscription or pay anything. Easy to access, and it's going to be a great night. So now, if I could ask the operator to remind everyone in the media how to ask questions, and we will start to do that now.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press star one on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star one on your telephone keypad. I'm waiting for callers to join the queue.
While we're waiting, Gail, do you have any fan questions? Maybe we can start with those.
We did have fan questions, so why not start with the fans? And this is a question for both Sullivan and SEANie. Kathy just mentioned that we are showing the fight to the world for free, live streaming on Facebook Watch. What do you guys all think about appearing on a live streaming platform like Facebook Watch? Do you like that idea? And do you think it's good for boxing as a sport?
Sullivan, están preguntando de qué tú piensas de la plataforma de Facebook, de que todo el mundo puede ver eso gratis y que si te gusta la idea de que la gente tenga esa conexión para poder ver tu pelea.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, like, because, everyone knows that now the HBO is out the game. So, yeah, it's the new thing. So I hope that work for the boxing fan, the boxing people, Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, I agree. I think times are changing, and you got to roll with the times. So, like Barrera said, HBO boxing is gone now, and everybody and their mother is on Facebook every day of the week. So I think we're gonna get a lot of viewers, a lot of eyes on this, and this is gonna be the kind of fight people don't want to miss.
Also, SEANie, you got a lot of fans, in Ireland and also in the UK. So it's great that they're getting the opportunity to watch this fight live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we do have our first question. It comes from Dax Khan from Talking Boxing TV. Please go ahead.
Hi, how's everybody doing today? It was the same question for both fighters. It's already been mentioned that this is a crucial fight for both guys. You're both in your mid-30s. The division is revolving, especially with Sergey Kovalev's second loss and Adonis Stevenson fighting Vladic next. Adonis is near 40. This fight here, do you guys both believe that this is a make-or-break fight if you don't win here, or if you should even lose in sensational fashion, more or less, that this is going to totally erase you from being relative in this division, regardless of where you guys stand now, because the division is changing so rapidly?
Sullivan, él dijo que la división está cambiando muy rápido, ya que Sergey ha perdido y Stevenson tiene 40 años, dos tienen casi la misma edad. Él está diciendo que si tú piensas que si esta pelea es una pelea que se tiene que ganar para seguir el rumbo como tal arriba de la división y el campeonato.
Yeah, like, every fight is important to me. Like, that's not the exception. Like, I know he's tough too. Like, we put it together. I'm going to put my best fight Saturday 3rd. So, like, I'm trying to take another title fight. So I think that's my opportunity.
My question for Sean is that Shawnee, you're a guy that has always shown whatever you might lack in skill, you make up for in heart and determination. I recently caught your training camp photos and videos. You seem to concentrate a lot on your stamina and some movement, which really we haven't seen that in your past fights. Is that something that you're going to try and incorporate into this? Do you think that's going to be beneficial for you?
Yeah, well, I kind of have been known to get swept away with my emotions in a fight. Sometimes I'll lose my temper sometimes, and I just feel stronger and tougher than a guy, then I'll kind of try to bully him. But this training camp, I've really, I came through the realization that I've been boxing for 17 years, and I am a good boxer, and I don't have to get hit so much. And I've been focusing on my boxing and my movement, and I'm going to use, you got to use all the smarts that you have against a guy as dangerous as Barrera. And I'm going to put my best foot forward, and I'm going to show a new, improved version of me that night.
And my question for Sullivan is, Sullivan, while we all know that you are a phenomenal boxer, but your best performances have always come against guys that come straight forward, like Shabransky, Joe Smith Jr., who also has a style very similar to Shawnee. You mentioned that recently you've seen opportunities against Dimitri Bivol that you didn't capitalize on, and I'm curious on what opportunities are they, because Dimitri Bivol, more or less, is a guy similar to Andre Ward, who you also lost to by such a wide margin. Actually, Andre you went the distance with, but Dimitri stopped you. What is it about their styles that seemed to be that troubled you the most, and what is it about Bivol that you couldn't capitalize on, that you seem to be able to capitalize on with these other fighters?
So, ¿tú lo entendiste?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I can understand, like, for me, that was a bad night to me, but I'm good. Like, I come back, I'm going to be strong. Like, my mentality is strong, too. So, like, I don't know, like, I'm going to put my heart in this fight. Like, I lose with Andrew Ward, I lose with Bivol, but I'm here, so I'm training hard. I'm going to put the best for my career.
So what you're saying is that in that fight you made the mistake of trying to prove your heart and kind of stepped out of character.
¿No entendí?
Que él está preguntando de que qué fue lo que te dio problema con Bivol y Underworld, que él está diciendo que quizá, o sea, él te está preguntando que tú crees que tú tuviste problema con eso, que fue la oportunidad que tú pudiste hacer mejor.
Both guys tough, light heavyweight. Andrew Ward is retired right now, but it's in this level. It's like Gennady, Canelo. That wasn't the same position, because they have close fight. But in this level, you can win, you can lose, because it's tough.
All right, thanks a lot, and look forward to the fight, and good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Jack Hirsch from Boxing News. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. First question to Sullivan and his team and his trainer as well. You've been in with Andre Ward and Dimitri Bivol, which is higher caliber of opposition than Shawnee's ever been in with. Do you think that gives you an advantage in this fight?
Tell me that.
Oh. ¿Tú lo entiendes?
No,
que si tú crees que tú tienes una ventaja porque tú has tenido más, o sea, has boxeado con niveles más altos.
No, I don't think so. I have a bunch. Like, he's tough too. Like, I just put like my training hard at the gym, my focus, my like listen to my coach. Like, I don't think so. I have like a bunch. Like, it's it's good because I have like verified before, but that helped me like not too much. Like, I'm fucking with him. He's tough. Nothing. I'm going to put everything in Saturday. Sorry.
Okay.
Every fight is like an original play. It has to play out. So I think sometimes, sure, at the beginning when you're building up a fighter, you say, well, this guy's had more experience, so that might give him a slight edge. But then again, the guy across the ring has two hands too, and he's trying to do the same thing. Maybe he hasn't had the opportunity to show the thing. So you can't ever underestimate any opponents. We're definitely not underestimating SEANIE, and any other fighter that we will fight in the future. So, you always have to remember, every night it's a night in itself,
Sure, and a lot went back and forth on Twitter between you two guys. Shawnee's been quoted as saying it's really not personal, it's business, but is it personal to you, Sullivan?
That's a question for me?
Yeah, is it personal what went on Twitter between you and Shawnee? Is it strictly professional?
Está diciendo que tú tienes algo personal contra él.
Yeah, I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing personal between him. Like that's a sport. That's the great fight for boxing fans. So just do it Saturday third, and then the fan give the fan like the great show. Like for me, it's nothing personal. You just sport.
Yeah, thank you. And to Shawnee, you've boxed twice at the Aviator before. It's about a 25-minute, 30-minute ride from Long Beach, your hometown, where you have massive support. Do you feel that gives you an advantage in this fight, kind of like a home court advantage?
Well, I feel very comfortable there. I've seen it already. I know what the locker room looks like. I know what the drive there feels like. So, there's a level of comfortability there. And to your question you asked Barrera before, there's nothing personal here. As an athlete, as a warrior, you look at what the other guys are doing around you. And I've seen Barrera fight. I've seen him get dropped and get back up and fight hard. I know what his resume is, so I've got nothing but respect for him. And, I don't know if Kathy probably wanted some more fireworks with this media conference here, but we're not trash talking guys. We're warriors. And there'll be plenty of action on that night in the ring.
Right. And getting back to your one career loss to Marcus Brown obviously was an ugly type loss. Is this fight against Barrera, do you view it as an opportunity to erase, the stigma of that evening?
Well, I've definitely got a chip on my shoulder. I was embarrassed by that loss. Maybe my head got a little bit too big for myself. I didn't really think it was even possible. I've never been down in my life in the ring or even in sparring, and I got put down with a shot and was kind of dazed, and it all happened so fast. But I learned a big lesson from that, where if I'm ever in that position again, I'll gather myself up and get up and keep on fighting. I've seen Barrera do it many times, and it was just a bad experience, but, it's probably better to have that experience going into a fight with Barrera, than never having had that experience before. So I'm more seasoned, and I took what I can from it, and I've moved on.
And to P.J. Kavanaugh, Joe Higgins, either one could answer. The Joe Smith fight obviously was a natural, would have been tremendously appealing. Why didn't that fight ever happen, and might it happen in the future?
Well, I can answer that. We made many attempts to make that fight, but between promoters not coming together and agreeing on purses, that's really the money has been an issue, more so on their side than on ours. But we've made attempts to make it. I still think it's a great fight to happen, and as I said, in the past we wanted to do it, and in the future we would want to do it. We love the fight, and hopefully we can make it happen. But we're moving on with the Barrera fight, and that's what we're excited about. But maybe the Joe Smith thing we can make it happen in the future.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Carlos Toro from Fightful.com. Please go ahead.
Thank you, both of you, for taking time away to talk to us. My first question is for Shawnee. Shawnee, given that you're ranked in several of the governing bodies, you're, I believe, top 10 in 2 of them and ranked in another one, do you think that a win over Barrera with his resume is kind of the type of win that will show the division that you are a legit contender?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as rankings go, I don't want to talk too much trash about him, but you see guys who aren't even ranked get a title fight, So it's kind of all about being in the right place at the right time. But I think being ranked in the top 5 in the world and getting a big signature win off a well-respected guy like Barrera has to move my career forward in the right direction.
By the time you step into the ring, it would have been almost exactly 1 year since you last fought, which I believe is the longest you spent without fighting. Are you overall concerned about any ring rust?
No, I mean, we've done multiple training camps for fights that all fell through. I was supposed to fight Alvarez in Canada, and then that kind of all fell apart, and he ended up getting the Kovalev fight. I was supposed to fight Barrera in the summer. That fell apart. I was supposed to fight Anthony Yarde in England. That ended up falling apart, and now we're back with Barrera. So I've been in the gym the whole time, and I've actually improved a lot this year. And, the one loss I had really made me reevaluate myself and reevaluate my weaknesses and work on them. And I'm coming out in the best possible version I've ever been of myself right now.
And one question for Sullivan. Sullivan, given that when you first lost to Andre Ward, you kind of took what you learned from that loss, and then you got into a good win streak that resulted in you challenging for a title. What did you learn from that loss to Dimitri Bivol, and do you think that experience is going to help you in potentially challenging for another title and in this fight?
Yeah, every fight you're learning. Like with Zibor, that was top 5 that we learned into. So I have experience, but every fighter is different. Every style is different. So I learning, by myself. I putting that at the gym and this time for another opportunity for title.
What is your opinion of SEANIE Monaghan as a fighter, taking away any, interactions on Twitter and taking all of that out of the equation? Strictly as a fighter, what is your opinion of SEANIE?
Yeah, SEANIE is a great fighter, like the tough 10 fighter. Like, I think that is the good fight for the boxing fans. Like, we have like the same style, like we both going to make the fight fun for everyone,
Thank you, and best of luck to both of you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Our next question is going to come from John Gasling from NewYorkFight.com. Please go ahead.
All right, thank you. Sean, these questions for you first. You're back in New York City, another stage, another chance to prove yourself, after the setback with Marcus Brown last year. I guess this question is for you too, PJ. What have you done differently with this particular camp to prepare for Sullivan, knowing that he was in there with the Dimitri Bivol, very young, very athletic? You saw him go 12 hard rounds with him. What have you guys done differently to try to prepare to win this fight, this very important fight?
Well,
Sean, you want to go?
Yeah. I just like I said, with the loss to Marcus, it's going to actually end up helping me in the long run. I took a learning lesson from that. I won't go walking into the ring half asleep like I did. I've been known to kind of be too calm before fights. I try to calm myself down in the locker room, and I walked into that fight half asleep, and next thing it was over. I wasn't even hurt. So I know how dangerous Barrera is, and I know I have to be switched on right away as soon as the opening bell rings.
Okay. Sullivan, this question is for you. Obviously, what your pedigree is, having been in there with Andre and Dimitri. And then maybe to Kathy, this question is for you too, Kathy, if you're listening here. is if you get past this fight, how interested are you in a rematch with Dimitri Bivol? It was a sensational fight, 12-rounder, the nip and tuck the whole way through. Is this fight basically being set up for you to get that rematch with Dimitri Bivol?
Yeah, like right now I'm looking for Shannon. Like I have my mind like focused in him. But yeah, my goal is my rematch. I think like the Master night, that was not my night. But yeah, right now I'm focusing Shannon. Like I'm training hard for him. And then like I hope in the future I have my rematch with Dimitri.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure that are you looking to end this short of the distance? I mean, obviously all fights are geared to go 12 rounds and go the distance, but we know about the chatter on Twitter and everything else. Shawnee, I'm sure you're looking to go on there and make a splash for yourself. But are you looking to stop Shawnee in spectacular fashion so that you can really hype up interest in a potential rematch with Bivol and some other players at the light heavyweight division?
Like,
do you want a knockout?
Sullivan, dime. ¿Tú entendiste lo que él dice? Que si tú quieres acabar la pelea rápido, o a ti te importa eso, o si te gustaría noquearlo, ¿tú me entiendes?
No, like he's the tough guy. Like when you fight the tough guy, you never know what kind of happen. Like my goal is win my fight. Like doesn't matter if for knockout, it's for unanimous decision. Like I know it's he's in his play, so but I don't looking for the knockout. I'm going to have fun. He win my fight.
Okay, and how and I guess this is for your trainer out DJ. Can you chime in here too? What have you done differently? Because Shawnee didn't necessarily answer this when I was asking earlier. What have you guys done differently to prepare for this particular fight? Given where you're at right now, 37. That he faced a very athletic opponent the last time out in Dimitri Bivol. How are you preparing for this strong light heavyweight who's been very, very competitive with some of the top fighters in the sport? What are you going to do differently to prepare for this particular fight coming up here? This really the fight of Shawnee's life.
Well, I think I can answer that, PJ.
I was going to let Joe in on that there. Joe's the one that's been working with him every day, and
okay,
I'll hand it over to Joe. But the one thing I've observed is just Shawnee's really been working on his boxing skills rather than in his past his toughness has really carried him a long way through his career. But he has a lot of boxing skill, which I would say Joe has been working very well with him on, and just bringing some new stuff to the table. So go ahead, Joe.
Quite frankly, Sean has always had some pretty decent boxing skills, but like he said earlier, sometimes he gets drawn into the brawl. So, we could tell you what we specifically train for, and the fight can turn out to be something different. And we have also prepared for that. Yes, we did work a lot more on boxing skills, but I can't really tell you exactly what we did differently because then I'm going to give the other guy my game plan. Fact of the matter is we worked very, very hard on his endurance because, as you see in Sean's record, he's stopped guys early, and he's also gone 10 rounds 4 or 5 times. So we think we're prepared for just about anything. All I can tell you right now, though, is don't be surprised that Sean exhibits some boxing skills. But if it turns into a war, he's ready to do that in a heartbeat. The best thing, though, is that we really, really, truly focused just a little bit more on the intangibles where our fundamentals are extremely sharp as we're throwing multiple punches. And we think that's going to make the crowd-pleasing fight, and we also think that might be the advantage when it comes down to these guys swinging with each other. that's about as far as I can give you because the rest of it I'd be giving away my game plan.
Okay. And Kathy, is this fight is the winner of this fight in all likelihood to face Dimitri if he's successful with his next coming defense against Pascal?
That's certainly possible. Another possibility is if Sergey is successful in his defense against Alvarez, and you've got and if that doesn't happen, maybe Alvarez. I mean, you've got a really exciting division here, and everything's up for grabs. I think somebody mentioned before, that Adonis Stevenson was close to 40. He is, if what you mean by close to 40 is he turned 41 yesterday. Happy birthday, Adonis! But we have a lot going on. He is in a very dangerous fight on Adonis on December 1st against Vostik, who is a terrific young fighter. So the floodgates are opening, and there will be lots of title fight opportunities, and one or both of these guys may get them. So, it could be the kind of fight where they both do so well, they both get the chance. I hope so. That's usually when everybody wins. But in the meantime, they both have a lot on the line, and there's a big opportunity out there for at least one of them. And which opportunity that is, I can't tell you today, but I'm pretty sure there will be one.
Awesome. All right, guys. Best of luck. See you soon on the fight night.
All right. Thank you.
Our next question is coming from Rich Mancuso from NewYorkSportsDay.com. Please go ahead.
Hi, welcome. Thank you, everyone. Kathy, this is for you. I want to follow up about the light heavyweight division that you were talking about. What will it take to unify this division, just like you're trying to do now with the welterweights and yesterday the middleweight division? They're talking about all of that right now.
I'm having a really hard time hearing you. Can you perhaps speak up a little bit? I couldn't hear the question.
Yeah. About the... Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah. That's much better. Thank you.
Yeah. What will it take to unify this division, like the welterweights and the light and the middleweight division, as they're trying to do now? What will it take with this division? It seems right now wide open, as you said.
Probably for Adonis Stevenson to lose. He's been the impediment all along. So I'll be rooting for Vostik. He wins, and then I see a straight line to unification here. And again, in the meantime, only two guys can fight at once. In the meantime, the other champions will be looking for dance partners, and we've got two possible candidates for them right here. Hello?
Maybe that's the end of the question. Well, our next question is going to come from Lucas Cattell from ITR Boxing. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my question is for Shawnee. Shawnee, this is Lukey. What Barrera do you think you're going to see? Do you think he's going to be on the back foot, or do you think he's going to come forward?
I'm really not sure, but I'm preparing for a tough, hard night's work because from everything I've seen from him, he comes to fight, and however hard you fight, he'll match you. So every night when I'm laying in bed after putting in my work, I just put myself mentally in a position where I'm exhausted and I got to go out there and work even harder. And I've been training my mind for this night for a long time. And, Barrera's a warrior. He's a Cuban. All Cubans can box. He doesn't necessarily fight like a Cuban, but he'll fight 110%. So I know I'm going to have to fight fire with fire at some point, and I'm just getting ready for it mentally and physically.
Okay. And, Shawnee, you're coming off of basically 3 camps, right? People have been pulling out and doing the dance. So this is the best shape you've been in for probably your whole pro career?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I could do 10 rounds standing on my head right now. I've got no injuries. I'm sure every pro athlete goes through their share of aches and pains, but, I've had a bunch of nagging little injuries that I never really complained about or talked about throughout my career that you just deal with in the training camp. But this is the first time that they're all gone. I feel young. I feel healthy. I'm confident. I'm in great shape. and I'm just going to be ready to do whatever it takes.
And for Barrera, I'm interested in, he's trained with Abel Sanchez. He's been in multiple camps. How is this camp, kind of the training situation, the dynamic, from the strength and conditioning to boxing, how has it been different?
Now, when we train, like we always have like good training camp. I have my physical training like really well. So I think the condition for this fight is great for every camp, but for this fight, my condition is very, very, very tough.
Barrera, my last question. What do you think of Shawnee as a fighter? When you look at him, what do you see?
No, he's a warrior too. Like he have like good style, like the thing, like we both going to in the frame, like he, I know that they're going to be a great fight because we both have the almost the same style.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and turn the call back over to Gail for the one fan question, please.
Yes, we did have more fan questions. Many of them have also been asked by the media, but this one has not. This is for both camps, both trainers, both fighters. We've talked about the pressure on both guys to win this fight, high stakes to get a win. So do you feel the pressure? And if you do, how do you handle it? What are your coping mechanisms to deal with the pressure of this fight?
Well, from my standpoint, I feel like, first of all, ever since I've been with Sullivan, there hasn't been an easy fight. So it's just, this is what we do. When you're at the levels, the high levels, where you're the higher level trainer, high level fighters, you were born to do this. This is what you do. And the reason why we're still there is because we do it well. So every fight, it's the same amount of pressure. Everybody wants to do well and see you win. And it's the same amount of danger. And, when you're a good professional, you can handle it.
Well, quite frankly, I think pressure's good. It doesn't give you a chance to underestimate anything going into a fight. It makes you work a little bit harder. It makes you focus a little bit more. The bigger the fight, the more you got to focus. So, yeah, I think a little bit of nerves and pressure is good for these guys. I think sometimes if you're a little too relaxed or, sometimes you go in there with somebody that you don't fear that much, that's when you let your guard down. So I like for Sean to worry about the guy on the other side of the ring because that's when it seems like it's the best out of him. So, yeah, I'm not so worried about the pressure. We've been doing this a long time. We've been on the stage a long time with filled arenas. If that doesn't put pressure on you, trying not to let down your people, and then nothing does because, when you turn around and you see the entire room is for you, that adds the pressure. So in Sean's defense, I think he's used to that kind of thing, man. I think he feeds off of it a little bit, and quite frankly, like I said earlier just now, I think the pressure is actually a good thing. I think it makes them worry a little bit more about the opponent so they stay more focused.
Yeah, I'll chime in here. Every fight, your whole career is important. Anytime you can catch a loss and climb on the way, climbing up the ladder, and it will really set you back. So every time you step in there, there's pressure. And, this will be my 31st fight. And, it's the stakes are very, very high. I'm very aware of that. And it just helped me push through the hard training moments and really dig deep in my training and get myself prepared for this.
Yeah, like for me, like I don't feel pressure. Like I learning with when I fought underwater, I learning like I'm going to have fun during the fight. That's just my mentality, Like it's one more fight. It's just that.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn the call back over to Kathy.
Hi, Hi. Well, I'll do the closing. The light heavyweight main event will headline this Saturday, November 3rd card as part of the Golden Boy Fight Night series on Facebook, live from the Aviator. The event is promoted by Main Events. Action will be streamed live globally on Facebook Watch on the Golden Boy Fight Night page beginning at 6 p.m. Pacific Time and 9 p.m. Eastern. So set a reminder on your Golden Boy Fight Night page. Tickets are priced from $50 to $125, and they're on sale now and available through Eventbrite or by calling Main Events 973-200-7050 or emailing boxing@mainevents.com. And a transcript of this call will be made available to the boxing media. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you at the Aviator or online on Facebook Watch on November 3rd. It's going to be a great night. And thank you, everyone, on this call. It's been a great conference call, and I guess I'm sure the press has a lot of material. Look forward to seeing those stories.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Gail, for putting all this
Thanks,
together.
everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, and thank you to our operator, Katina, and we will now end the call.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.